Hello, hello. Again, this is Saturday, May 29th, 2021. Again, I am excited that we're having a show that you guys have joined the show. Again, this is Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. Also, if you want to advertise on the show, please get in touch with me. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, please get in touch with me. I'll let you guys know if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet on YouTube, please do that at Keeping It Real Conversations with Sunshine. I am on Spotify by the same title of the show. I am on Twitch and on Facebook Live on my Facebook's channel, which is Sunshine Camila, Kamela. Now, the show, again, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. Then I tell you how I know our guest. Can you hear me? Well, he'll be back on the show. So today's guest, our second guest for today, is Elgin Brown the second. And he'll be back on in just a second. And I'll tell you how I know him, which is amazing. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So our second guest for today is Elgin Brown the second.
Hey, how you doing?
I am good. So I know Elgin. We grew up on Chelsea before he moved. He lived a couple of houses over from me. The crazy thing about this is, um, 3 years ago, I had just started. I was actually in training to become a mail carrier. And I'm walking down the street in Bourne. And we walk past this house, and somebody says, Camila. And I'm thinking, I don't come out in Warren, so who in the world knows my name for one? And I'm like, so the person I'm with, my trainer, like, they said your name, I think. And so I turn around and look, and it's Elgin. And so we began to talk. He said, you don't remember me? I said, okay, let me. He said, we used to be neighbors. Neighbors where? He was like, Chelsea. And I said, oh, wow. Do you remember my name? For all of these things. And so come to find out he was at a client's house doing work. So I
Yeah,
will let
some
you,
electrical and
huh?
pretty much finishing the whole basement, electrical, flooring, painting, drywalling, the whole shot. Yeah.
So Mr. Elgin has his own business. Now I told you I am really, really big into making sure that our black male, um, his story is told, not what the media says, none of that. I know plenty of black males who have their own business, taking care of their families, all of these things. So any chance that I have to promote that, I will. So Elgin, how are you doing on this Saturday?
I'm doing good. I'm blessed. I'm sitting out here on my deck enjoying this sun. Um, I love the sun. So if it's a little blurry, I apologize, but I can't ever get enough of vitamin D.
I'm
You hear me?
surprised that you're not working right now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's like you're buffering.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I say I'm just enjoying this sun. Can you hear me at all, Camille? Because I don't know if you're hearing me or not. It
I can
seemed
hear
like it's
you.
glitching a little bit.
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So,
I'm just sitting out here enjoying the sun. I'm just sitting out here enjoying the sun. I
how
can't never
long
get
have
enough
you
vitamin D.
how long have you been in your business?
Actually, it'll be 10 years next month. Well, not next month, July, since I graduated from school into July of 2011.
And what school was that?
At the time, it was Kaplan, out in Dearborn. Um, real quick, like, and it may sound cliche to some people, but actually the Lord told me to do it. He and I got visions about being in school as an adult. Like, I kept it was reoccurring visions. Like, it felt so surreal to the degree I had to check my diploma to go see if I still got my diploma, because I'm thinking like, okay, did I graduate from high school? What are you telling me? And so from time to time, this happened for years. So time to time, I would go look at my diploma and make sure it's official. Like, no, I got my diplomas. I don't know what you're telling me, because see, at the time, I despised school. So for me to go back to school was not an option for me. Like, that was not a desire of mine. And and then I finally one day was like, okay, Lord, and I really said it like this: I'll do it now. What? Because I have no desire. Like, really, I had no desire to go to school. So now you want me to go to school? What you want me to go to school for? And immediately, and I do mean immediately, the very number that you have, um, began receiving phone calls from different institutions around Michigan about a ET program, electrical technician program, and all over Michigan. And I was only familiar with one location, which is the location I actually attended to, which is in Dearborn. And at the time, didn't have a job. My wife didn't have a job. House was in foreclosure. Had 3 children. Well, had 2 children, one on the way, because that was in January. And and then he gave me scripture. I heard clearly, obedience is better than sacrifice. So in reference to that, there is no sacrifice through obedience in Christ, right? So here it is. I'm thinking I'm sacrificing something because I don't have anything, and I'm gonna sacrifice something and trying to go to school when it was just the opposite. And in going to school, not only all my needs are met, right? End up coming out of foreclosure on my home, end up buying the house from myself. That's another conversation, through a short sale that I got wisdom on. And everything is everything. I mean, that's really the nuts and bolts of that. And I ended up graduating with a 3.7. And um, they asked me to do a speech on behalf of the whole ET program at Henry Ford Community College. So I ended up speaking on behalf of the whole program, the ET program. And even years later, years, maybe four years later, something like that, I ended up getting a call from that same institution, which then was named, I was called. They ended up asking me if I was interested in being an instructor there. So I ended up being an instructor there for a couple of years, off and on, part time, at night. And here I am.
Wow. You your phone keeps going in and out.
I don't know if it's, let me try something here.
Okay,
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I took you off my Bluetooth. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. So you said that basically God set you up. Are you still there? You still there?
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yes. I don't know what's going on my end. It's probably on my end. I just took you off my Wi-Fi. Maybe that was the problem. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, you said that God set you up, right?
Yes.
And um, so if y'all understand, he's a licensed electrician who owns his own business, and he's constantly working, constantly.
Yeah. Too much sometimes. Like right
But
now,
it's
I'm
providing for his
purposely,
family.
yeah, I'm purposely trying not to work Saturdays because I am that busy. Like purposely. Like there's been times where I worked 6 days a week, and then was I would say 7 days, even though I'm not working for myself, but I'm in church half the day on Sunday, working for the Lord, serving his kingdom, serving the local house over in East Point, Better Life Church, as an usher and whatever else is required of me. But so my point is like because I am so busy, I cut back hours during the week because I do have a family, um, five boys from 17 down to two, 17, 12, 11, 4, and a 2-year old, all boys. So, money is not everything, right? The Lord, uh, scripture says he makes us rich and adds no sorrow to it, right? There's sorrow I believe there's sorrow in not being home with your children, like not having that time and quality time with your children. And you cannot get that time back. And to me, that's sorrow. So it's just something intentionally that I'm doing now, just so I can be at home a little bit more, whatever is required. Whether we just chill or do something, or just being at home a little bit more than I was when I started. Because when I started, obviously, I pioneered it. Taking small jobs, got to take everything that's coming to me. Got to take, literally had to take everything that was coming to me, and now I get to pick and choose. I can say no. I can say put you on the schedule in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I can do that now. That's an option. So I don't have to go out here and just run these streets all day long doing work. You know, had the time like today. Me and you've been trying to do this interview for a while.
Yes, we have, but it's here. And what people don't know is we truly have serious kindred spirits, and we'll talk about one thing, and
Right.
literally it'll be 3 hours later, like, how did this happen? And it's hitting on one thing after another, and you never know. It's almost like whatever it is, I'll hit it in my spirit, and I'll say something to Elgin, and he was like, now we're not gonna talk about that right now because this gonna lead to this right here, and then we're gonna be on the phone for another 5 hours. It's just funny how when we get together, God really comes in the midst of our conversation. He enlightens us every time that
This
we
is
get
true.
together. And I'm happy that we were able to do this conversation. And I really wanted the world to see another male with his own business. He does. He works on his own house. He does very well in what he does. He is a licensed electrician. Doing the lights and floors and all this good stuff that he does, and it's all the intellect from God. And he
Amen.
will tell you.
Yeah, I know that like I say cause I don't know if you heard everything, but I know that this is what the Lord had me to do on so many levels as far as being an electrician. I mean,
I've been doing this kind of work as far as trades work since I was 15 through other vehicles. But then when I learned how to be an electrician, when I picked up those skills, like at this point in time, all I do now is electrical. I don't even have time to, like, I'm a painter, for example. I'm a good painter. I'm a very good painter. I'm a finisher, right? I don't have time to paint. Like I painted houses in the past, 2,000, 3,000, yeah, 2,000, 3,000, 3,500 square foot homes. I don't have time for that anymore because that's how busy I am as an electrician. Um, and I say all that to say that share that is the Lord prompted me to go to school, to become an electrician. Even at that time, our church was mobile. Have a church home. During the time I was in school, we acquired our first church home, which is in East Point. Once again, it's in East Point. Um, Better Life Church, and that building needed a lot of electrical work. I mean, a lot. Nothing was cold. We didn't have exterior lights. We didn't barely had interior lighting. We didn't have proper signage as far as exit signs and things like that. Switches, just simple switches for our sanctuary. We didn't even have that. And while I was in school, I ended up doing a whole lot of that work while I was in school. During school, I would do go to church, do a little bit of work, stuff I wasn't familiar with. I would go back to school, ask an instructor. He would give me some nuggets. I would go back to church and do it. And it's just amazing that he set me up to do what I do for such a time as that, to be able to build the ministry, to help build the ministry. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I know I saved our church thousands. I mean, even since then, I've redid the lighting throughout the whole church. Literally, I mean, you have to see the church, but I redid it's LED throughout the whole entire church. LED lighting. I mean, throughout the whole and all the classrooms, my pastor's office, my evangelist's office, the sanctuary, fellowship hall. I installed huge industrial ceiling fans in our fellowship hall because of the heat that was in there. Right. I mean, I painted the church, been involved in that interior, exterior. I've done a lot, you know, and it's just amazing that he put me in that position to do that, to help out the ministry.
That's really good. People don't look at it as God gives us, gifts and talents to serve the ministry. Those who are good with their hands, those who are good with decorating, all of those things, it takes that to build the ministry. Some people are,
And a willing heart,
yes,
because it's a lot of people that got many talents, but don't put them to use for the sake of the ministry, for the advancement of his kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Got plenty money that don't sow. So, a willing heart is part of that. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. And so, what was the last baby is 2 years old now?
Yeah. I call him Sweet Pea. Liam Israel Miles Brown. That's my Sweet Pea.
So you said 4 or 5?
5.
5. And I was teasing him about a picture I just recently seen. His son just went to prom. Was that what day was that?
George. It's called George Park over
What
here
day was
on.
that?
That was Thursday.
So there's a picture of him, his son, and him. Um, and so I teased him like, so why is your son taller than you? If y'all ever see Elgin, Elgin, yeah, he's been like this since he was young.
It
And
is what it
so
is. It is what it is. I'm a petite man, to say the least.
And so the point I was trying to get at was I was happy that sometimes we have to step in somebody else's shoes um, to be the family man. Um, and what am I saying? No, he didn't birth this child, but he still was there as a father to him. And I said all that to say is my dad was the same way. My dad wasn't the person that created me necessarily, but I thank God that God chose him to raise me. And we had the best relationship ever. And he made sure that, graduations, he made sure that when I had sporting events, he was there. He pushed me. And believe it or not, one time my dad had passed on a table, and he said God spoke to him or sent him a message to send to me. And so I'm all like, "You said what?" He said, "Yeah, while I was out, God sent a message to you." And I'm like, "What?" I was at the time, to be honest, I was doing my own thing. So I wasn't trying to hear. I said, "Oh Lord, what did he say?" And he said, go back to your first love, write the vision and make it plain. And so I was like, "Okay, Dad." And so he said, "You a writer. This is what you do. You've been writing since you was a kid. Go back to your first love." And so now that I'm looking at it, and Dad's been gone since 2016, I'm
Right.
here.
Right.
I'm writing. I have, in the process of getting a book done, all of these things that God had to send a message to the one that loved me the most to get back to what he purposed in my life. And so Elgin um, did that for his son, who's now, you said 17, right?
Yeah, he's 17. Been we been in his life since he was one, two, 1.5, 2 years old. We got married. He was 4. So actually, our anniversary is coming up next month on the 14th. It'll be 13 years since we've been married. But um, yeah, I've been raising him ever since. I mean, he has his father is in his life, you know. Um, but I'll have my role as well in his life. You know what I'm saying? So um, it's been a journey, to say the least. It hasn't always been easy, but because there's a lot of other nuances that goes with that, you know. But um, I know it's been a character builder for myself. Like even just raising him has taught me so much as a man. Um, how to be patient. Um, just a huge character builder.
Mm-hmm. So everybody can't do that.
Yeah, I realize that. I don't think everybody understands that either. Like they take it for granted. I try not to put no light on it, on myself, but I know it's not always easy as it appears.
Right. And this is the point of, some things that I know um should be brought out, because we sometimes we all we heard is, dad be dad. They in jail somewhere, they not taking care of their responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera. But here I know someone who beat the odds. And one of the things that I want to bring out, I don't know if you noticed this, but on our flyer that I did for you, it said looking at the man in the mirror.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And so, looking at the man in the mirror, what do you see when you look at yourself in the mirror?
It's a loaded question.
I know. You don't forget who you talking to now.
It's a loaded question.
Well, unload it then.
It's a loaded question, man. I see so much, really. Um,
Don't cop out. Come on. Spit it out.
um, unfortunately, and I'm saying it like this, unfortunately, I see more negative than positive. And what do I mean by that? I see what I should be, and this, and I'm not making any excuses. Like it's not a good place, but I see more negative than positive. What I could have been, what I should have did. You know, I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest critic. Nobody could criticize me more than myself. And like I said, it's not a good thing. Like it's not a good attribute. It's something I recognize and work and still working at, right? Because at the same token, I am not the person that I used to be, right? Like I think about it, I made a lot of bad decisions that ultimately put me in the position that I'm in right here today. It's not, and I say it like that because there was a point in time when I was headed to Florida State playing baseball, right? And I made a bad decision by going to a club, end up getting shot, and now my baseball career down. And when I say baseball career, I'm not fabricating, exaggerating. No, I was that good going to Florida State and on my way to the major leagues. All that was gone in the blink of an eye. You know, so it's those kind of things like, oh man, this, that, this, that, this, that. But then I think about, well, you overcame this, that,
Mm-hmm.
right? You overcame drinking, right? Like I don't drink. And there was a time when I drank way too much. I just say the least. I got 2 DUIs on my record.
Wow.
I got second-degree burn on my left arm from a motorcycle accident. I woke up in a ditch um, in a car, southbound 75. And then I just woke up in the ditch, literally woke up in the ditch. Not a scratch, not a bruise, just drunk. Didn't kill nobody, praise God. So, you know what I'm saying? So, this is who I see in the mirror, you know? Like, I tell you, I got 5 kids. Obviously, 4 of them are of my loins. The oldest is not. We've already discussed that. But there was a point in time when I didn't even think I could have children. Like I really believed that to the degree of I was going to get tested, you know, and then my wife tells me she's pregnant. I didn't believe that because once again, of what I thought of myself, not what God thought of me, right?
Mm.
It was just all those things, like I say, all those things I think about when I look at myself, you know, things I want to do, even to this, like I think more things that I would like to have accomplished at this point in time in my life that I haven't accomplished. You know, I look at that. I don't know what the perception is on that. If it's condemnation, like I don't condemn myself. I'm not condemned by it, but it's definitely a motivator. Like it helps me focus. It helps me to drive. It helps me to to lock in. You know, when I look at myself in the mirror.
So
Go ahead. Because you
there,
know I'm
there's,
wrong with it, man. I told
huh?
you how this is gonna go.
I'm just saying, I'm a hit it, and then like I told you, we're gonna have to have round two. I told you that. I told you that. So the loaded part of when we look ourselves in the mirror, and I'm listening to you, and it's funny to me because when we're looking at ourselves, and then other people are looking at ourselves, the
Right.
reflection of that. There was a moment in time where I didn't even want to be a girl. I told you that. Didn't want to be one. And so certain things in my life, I'm not happy about it, but I can't take it back. These
Right.
are now considered nuggets and lessons learned. So now when we have platforms like this, it's my job to bring those things out that we all have flaws. We all have these things. Now I want you to listen and learn from me. I didn't want to be or look in the mirror at all because I had low self esteem. You might see one thing when you look at me, but really in the inside of my head, it's totally opposite of what is really being portrayed. So you have moments where always saw myself further along. And so with me and my personality and how I am, I'm a driver. I'm a leader. I'm a workaholic, all of these things. So I can get to this wherever in my head I need to get to as far as being successful. So when I didn't see those things, I didn't have no mirrors in my house. I didn't even want to see the mirror in the bathroom. I was disgusted with myself. So the man in the mirror, now it's okay. What was the lesson that I learned from this? What was the lesson that I learned from drinking? I'm talking about you. From drinking. What was the lessons I learned? God saved me. God gave me grace. I could have been dead. Somebody did the exact same thing that you did. They didn't make it. Uh, the moment of because he talked to you in your dreams and was leading you, as we say, the little breadcrumbs, leading you to the school, and you were going through, the foreclosure and all of these things. It was a setup. Not only did you get the wealth and the natural for your own family, you helped in the church as well. Your gift made room for you. Do you did you
Right.
did you catching this?
I'm with you.
Oh, okay. So now it's our turn to tell our family, our friends, whoever, people we don't even know, that God is real.
Right.
So now we're the testimony that we're supposed to share to help somebody overcome.
Right.
There's other things that we had to overcome. I wasn't a drinker. I had other issues, but I wasn't a drinker.
Right.
But that doesn't detract from the things you had to overcome versus what I had to overcome. Now look at you. You have your own business. You make your own hours. And not to say that what you do is any slight to anyone else, but you're worth your pay.
Hey,
Do you
man.
hear me?
Yeah.
You're not out here gypping people. I know people who have gypped people, especially people in the church. You're not like that. So of course God is gonna bless you.
Well, one of my things is even when I started my business in reference to that, and I hear everything you're saying, is what would make me stand out, right? And and not just having a cliche, right? Not just listen. I'm a man of principle. Um, I don't do nothing just to be doing it. I don't say nothing just to be saying it. There's a foundation established or in place for me to speak on what I'm speaking on, right? And so I've always been like this. It's intensified in Christ, right? Um, but that's integrity. So
Absolutely.
like one my on my card on my van it says integrity driven, right? So when you talk about dripping people or whatever the case may be, like that's the furthest thing from my brain because everything I do is in integrity, you know. As we say in excellence, you know, excellence. It's a mindset. It's a heart condition. Training, work ethic. Well, let me say it differently. Training skill set comes from practice, right? Like I do what I do as an electrician. I get better at with practice. I get better with experience. However, the excellent factor, like do it in excellence, you can't really train that. It's either you want to or you don't. And I look at it, I always tell people it's like taking ownership or something. Um, I take ownership in everything that I do. Um, Goes back to some of the stuff I said earlier. You know, I'm my biggest critic because if it's not right, then I know I'm the only one to be to blame for it, right? So everything I do, as far as even as a husband, it's not just being an electrician but as a husband, as an usher, as a father, I don't take that lightly at all. Like not even a little bit. I put 120 to everything that I do. Like everything that I do, man. That's why I can go hard and work 6 days and work. Like I did a job recently. I make it plain. I did a job recently last week. I went up to Ludington, had to do a fire suppression system job, right? Trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it because I know I got to. If I go up there, it's a 4 hour drive from where I'm at, right? Which is 21 Mile and Romeo Plain, right? So I say how I'm gonna address this because I got to get through the job. It's a good job. If I go up there, I got to get it done. So this is the 120 in me. So I get there, I drive from here, I get there about 1:30. I leave here about 9. I get there about 1:30, 1 o'clock, unload, set up, get to work. I didn't stop working till 5:30 a.m. the next day. And that's because I didn't have anything else to do until the store opened up at 7. So I took a nap in my van, set my alarm for 7 a.m., got up about a quarter after 7, hit the supply store, and went back to work. I was done about let me say it this way. I literally got back on the road 4 p.m. the next day and was done with the job. That's just how I am. And telling that to somebody else, oh, why didn't you get a room and this and that? I don't have time for that. Like in my head, like that's wasting time. Good, bad, or otherwise. That's just my work ethic. That's just, and at the end of the day, I got a green sticker. So it's not like I rushed through it and made it all crappy. No, it was done the right way with integrity and got a green sticker. Meaning had an inspection, got a green sticker. It's a done deal. That's what I mean by, the excellence factor. Like I got people that work for me. Hey man, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, we're going to do it this way. It has to look this way. It has to look as an usher. I have to, I'm in charge of certain things. Hey, brothers, this is what we're doing. We want to escort the people. We want to escort the people. We want to be gentlemen. We want to do this. We want to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're service. I'm being a service. I am of service. As a husband, I am of service. As a father, I am of service. Right here in this interview, I am of service. It's an honor that you even asked me to do this. You know what I'm saying? My evangelist said something a while ago, and this is what I said I wasn't going to share with you that day we talked. But she said, you have a voice and it needs to be heard. I'm paraphrasing. but you're going to be in a position where the masses are going to hear you, and it's because of what you do as an
We already
electrician.
talked about this.
But she told me this at the beginning of the year. It was prophesied to
I'm trying to think.
do your service. So
Uh,
when you asked me, to do this interview, I was blown away because it was like maybe a month and a half after that prophecy. So it's here I am.
if I recall, I said that she was gonna preach and that there was gonna be a men's ministry. I remember now. Don't play with me. I know what was said. Yes,
We
because
ain't gonna go.
it's the humbleness in you, and it's the realness. This is what I feel. Um, the not just the body of Christ, but the whole world needs to see is we jump and shout on the result part, but you need to know, people need to know the beginning and the middle so you'll understand and appreciate the
Right,
end.
right, right,
I can shout with you, and then the word says, we rejoice with those who rejoice. I get it, but I'll really go in if you tell me the beginning, and I'm sure enough gonna go in if you tell me the middle.
right,
Because right there in the middle is whether you had the choice that either I'm gonna keep going or I'm gonna quit.
right,
Let's be real.
right.
It's
That's
not the
right.
beginning part. Yeah, why, we go through those moments of why I was chosen, why I had to do this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that middle part, as Isaac Curry said, praise me in the middle of it.
Right,
That's that part right there. Now, this is where the middle makes all the sense in the world. Because it could have been another way. But because I chose to keep going,
right,
then when the results start coming and it just keeps happening over and over again, I'm sure enough. I might as well not even wear no shoes. I don't like shoes anyway. But however, because it's even better. And so when I have conversations with you all the time, it's like, man, do you see what I see? So the man in the mirror, you might be your biggest critic, but you good. You're
I
good.
you know what, Camila, I know that I am. I was being straight up in reference to the question. You know what I'm saying? I know where I'm at, and I give glory to God because, like I say, I know where I came from. Like I know what I've done. I
Mm-hmm.
know that it's like I know what I've done, and His grace is sufficient. His mercy is everlasting. Right? There's If it was up to the adversary, I would already left this earth.
You would have been
Right?
dead a long time ago.
I've been shot in the mouth, point blank range. I could just keep telling, I can keep just sharing things that I've overcame where the Lord shielded. My angels was there, right? To deflect or soften the blow, right? I mean, who could say, and like I'm never in a position to really be giving testimonies and things like that. And even that sometimes when I am given the opportunity, I shot back because how precious it is to me. And like, if you got an ear for it, then I don't mind sharing. But I don't want to be commercial about it because it's not commercial to
No,
me.
no, 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 no. So the
But
point is,
no, no,
what does
no,
the word say?
no, no, no. I'm getting somewhere. At the end of the day, stuff like that. Um, when I was sharing about like being shot in the mouth, right? It's been many of those opportunities where I don't know if someone else was able to walk away from that, or someone, I can't even explain it, but even as I think about that one particular moment, just that one particular moment, it's not like not I have to say it like this. It's not like it happened and then, there's this huge hospital scene and things like that. If I had not seen my own blood, seriously, I would have not known that I was even shot because I had no pain. I was a little numb. Those that know me know what the scene looked like. They're like somebody died, but I got up off the floor like it was the movies. And I tell people that like, you been shot. So what happened? Well, I went and I got my gun and I went and I did this and start shooting back and blah 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 blah. I spit the bullet out. No, you didn't. Why you lying? Okay, then I shut up then, because I ended up spitting the bullet out, literally on the carpet. So it's those kind of things that I think about. Like you say, when I look at cause my I can't help but not see it. You know,
Right.
um, the surgeries that I had behind it. Being in intensive care, and then you look at when you say these things. As I say these things, it seems like a lot, but in that moment, it seemed like nothing to me. And I'm saying nothing, meaning it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like, oh man, look at me, pity me. It was just, it just happened. But as today, when I think about it, like when I think about it, it was just the grace of God that I even had that kind of mindset, like to be able to overcome it the way I did at that time, because it wasn't detrimental to me. I didn't, it messed with my psyche a little bit. Now I overcame that through the blood of Jesus, because paranoia was there. I'm looking at everybody crazy. Sometimes I don't like people just showing up at my doorstep, that kind of thing. And man, just know that was my second time being shot, almost a year later. So he had the adversary. He tried to put me in a position to give up on life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought I would reach 30. I mean, you sit here and we talk about my accomplishments and my children. I never thought I would reach 30. Like literally. Like that was my whole mindset. That was my mentality. I'll be lucky if I reach 30. Here I am, I'll be 43 next month, and I don't plan on leaving the earth no time soon, right? But 70 years, he would satisfy me, right? So, like I said, I know where it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. And but I am grateful. I don't want to sound like I'm not, because I am, but we just keeping it real, right? But I am definitely grateful because I I found Christ when I stopped drinking, right? So even that whole transition of being an alcoholic, trying to figure out how to stop because I'm tired. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. And in the midst of that, I found Christ. Like I rededicated my life to the Lord. And during that moment, like at that moment, that's when everything a light came on. Like literally, a light came on, and the things that I was reading and in reference to my word, then it became peanut butter and jelly, and peace came. Right, that surpasses all understanding. Right, in your heart and your mind. Right, just let it dwell in you, and that's what happened. So like that's when I got married, and that's when the children came, and that's when me becoming an electrician came, and here I am in a 3,000 square foot home. I'm sitting on my deck, enjoying the sun. You know, that's when everything really turned. You know what I'm saying? It was those moments, like you say, the meat, the in between. Because the beginning was the drinking and the clubbing and the acting crazy, riding around with rifles, shotguns in my back seat, like literally. because I was on something else at that time.
Right. Right. But
And
this
here,
this is the when we have the opportunity to like sit down and really reflect, and that's all a mirror does is reflect. It's a reflection. And when you sit back and begin to see the hand of God over your life
the whole
from
time,
the
the whole time,
whole time,
whether you knew it or not.
right? And then it start the dots become start connecting, making sense of why X, Y, and Z had to happen to get you where you are now. So like if say for instance if the adversary, as we say the devil, had its way, the thing would be your princes would not be in the earth. Your job as the cultivator, the father, would not have happened.
Right.
Their job
Now,
in the earth is not only to mimic you, but supersede you.
right.
So we look at now, what are their callings? What are their purposes on the earth? Is not by chance that they came from you. And
Right.
so I'm just we know we're gonna have to have part two. Uh I'm
I
just
told you.
excited.
I
Huh?
told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you how this was supposed to be. And you say, no, okay, then you done switched it up. We ain't gonna talk about what we talking about. I'm not gonna put you on. I say this thing gonna go quick.
But however,
However,
um it's just another point. By the time we set up for another one, something else is going to happen where, oh, we're going to talk about this time, like really get into your business about, you know, the importance of being licensed and having um the not audience, what do you call them,
in reference to what
uh
client?
no, when the person come in and check your work, what do they call it?
Oh, inspectors.
There you go. I said an audit, but that I'm like, that's not what it's.
No,
However,
you
so
good.
and
You
then
good.
just getting into the head of an electrician, that's a lot of math. That's a lot of, you know, putting it together as a map. Like I couldn't have been able to do that. I'm just saying.
Hey, real quick, 'cause I know we run out of time. In reference to what you just said, and that's what's so amazing about this because I've always been that individual mentally, right? Mentally, it's chess. Like I'm a thinker. So everything in life for me is a chessboard. I don't. I'm not impulsive. I'm emotional. I can be emotional, but I'm not impulsive. Even in my emotions, my raw emotions, I don't make impulsive decisions, right? So being an electrician is just that. Like it's so much, it's so many nuances to it. Like you can't make a move. You can't make a move without looking at the whole entire chessboard, meaning 5 steps, 6 steps ahead before I make one step. And that's in a nutshell. That's what being an electrician is. It is a thinker's trade. Um, is it's a lot of it's more mental than physical. At the end of the day, I, if I come home when I'm tired, it's not because of the physical nature of it. It's the mental nature of it. Like trying to wrap this all up in my head,
Mm-hmm.
blueprints in my head, drawings in my head, and a lot of times having to create it for myself or for the client because they don't have it.
Right. And that I think that's why we click so much, because we're both thinkers. We think outside the box, um, and we get a lot of opposition because people want to put you in the norm, and I'm not normal at all. I'm sorry. Sorry. I do I don't want to say the rebel thing, but I don't.
It's
I
the
don't,
rebel thing. You
I
own
don't
it.
go with the
Own it.
flow. I'm
Own
sorry.
it. Listen, own it. It's good. It is what it is. Own it.
I'm sorry. The more
Hey,
the older I get, the more I understand that I am truly a rebel. I am truly a visionary, and I can't apologize for it because, as we say, God will help, um, and He made me this way.
the
Sorry.
goal the goal behind that is to always know your audience, your arena. You know what I'm saying? When meaning knowing when to scale back, right? Knowing when to submit
Hmm.
and let it happen in front of you and not you trying to make it happen. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
I understand. Oops. Um. So with, oh, I appreciate you. I truly do. I love when we talk, whenever that is. And we will talk for hours because we are so similar in so many ways. Like I said, if you guys didn't understand in the beginning, we used to live a couple of houses from each other and then he moved. But the point was, I'm walking in a whole area that no one should know me. And he comes out and calls me by name. And I'm all like, how is this? And from that moment on, that was 3 years ago, where we connected all over again. And we're, so
Since
again,
we were 7.
huh?
Since we were 7, 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah. And
Real talk.
so, again, any moment that I have, we'll chop it up. And next thing you know, we've been on the phone for 3 or 4 hours. So again, we will do this again because then we'll get into depth of actually what you do versus where we went today. But we already discussed that was going to happen, so it's not a surprise at all. So maybe I think I'm getting everything together for July, either July, August. I know your anniversary is coming up, so maybe we'll push it to either the end of July or going into August. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Either way, it sounds good if we pencil it in sooner than later, and I can put you on my schedule, and it'll be a done deal.
I got you. We're not gonna go around these circles like we did last time, but okay.
That was you.
It was. I think
It
one
was
time it
no,
was
it was both
me.
of us. It was me the first time
Yeah,
and you the second
yes,
time.
it was both of
We
us.
took
So,
turns.
however,
We took turns.
we'll get it together. So, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I enjoy talking to you as always.
Same here. Love you.
I love you too. Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye.